election of 2020 has brought us to a critical point in our life. What you are seeing playing out in the streets, this is Venezuela. This is communism, socialism. The Democrats let us loose 40 years ago. We could have helped these people 40 years ago. And then we wouldn't have been stuck with this mentally ill, sick people, and it would have been normalized. This LGBTQ would have never existed if people took care of it 40 years ago, helped the mentally ill people 40 years ago. Then we wouldn't have let these crazies out in the streets. We got crazy people out in the streets. Look what they're doing in Rochester, New York lately. Look what they're doing, attacking people at McDonald's. Your first black president, Barack Hussein Obama, actually buries Satoro. Remember, Barack is Barack Gold in the 90s. Hussein is Saddam Hussein. Obama is Osama bin Laden. All created by Bush, the Bush dynasty. George Bush 41 created all this. So it was all a mock on USA. It was all a mockery of USA. And the first transgender woman, Michelle, a.k.a. Michael Robinson. And the first fake family. Two kids that were borrowed. But Dr. Nesbitt's kids were borrowed. Okay. He created Black Lives Matter July 13, 2013. And then he handed it over to the three lesbians, the Marxist bitches. I'm sorry, but you know what? Freedom of speech. I can swear the fuck I want. Because the shit's pissed me off. It's very fucking annoying. So right now we have BLMs and SJWs, which is Antifa's. Social Justice Warriors is SJWs. Okay, we have those running around the streets right now. Remember, BLMs do not support black lives. Okay? They support black on black killing. They support pedophiles. They support communism, fascism. They're against your first 10 amendments. So is Antifa. They're against your first 10 amendments. They're attacking you. They're using your amendments to attack you with. To attack the public with. They're attacking our First Amendment. Our freedom of speech. Our freedom of religion. Our freedom to protest. Against our grievances against the government. They're using our Second Amendment to attack us. The right to bear arms. They're using a Third Amendment. Third Amendment prohibits the government from quartering troops in private homes, a major grievance during the American Revolution. They're using the Third Amendment to attack our homes. If you understand how they're doing it, then you would understand, because I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm just going to go through the amendments real quick. They're using the Fourth Amendment, which protects the citizens from unreasonable search and seizure. The government may not conduct any searches without a warrant, and such warrants may be issued by a judge and based on probable cause. Wait, how are they using the Fourth Amendment against you? Research it and you'll find out. Of course, they're using the Fifth Amendment against us. Provides the citizens not to be subjected to criminal prosecution and punishment without due process. Remember, all these rioters, looters, agitators, criminals are getting arrested. But they're going without due process. And they're being let go and back into the streets. Citizens may not be tried on the same set of facts twice and protected from self-incrimination. The right to remain silent. Hold on. The amendment also establishes the power of eminent domain, ensuring private property is not seized for public use without compensation. Wait, then we have Kenosha property was all burnt. But weren't these property owners compensated months prior to the attacks because the attacks were already planned? And then when you see them interviewing the owners are not devastated. They're very calm. What the fuck's going on here? They used the Fifth Amendment. Now let's go to the Sixth Amendment. Hold on. The Sixth Amendment assures the right to a speedy trial by jury of one's peers to be informed of the crimes with which they are charged and to confront the witnesses brought by the government. The amendment also provides the accused the right to compel testimony from witnesses, and to legal representation. When you go on Antifa.com, it takes you straight to JoeBiden.com. Joe Biden supports Antifa. Antifa last year in May of 2019 was designated as a terrorist organization by law. Remember that, guys. Look for it. Research it. Excuse me. The 7th Amendment provides that civil cases also be tried by jury. Why aren't civil cases being tried by jury? Why aren't these rioters, looters, agitators, murderers, convicted criminals being tried by jury? But they get arrested and then they get let go back in the streets. They get the mugshots taken, they get let go back in the streets. When President Trump made that bill for criminals to be let go, for people that were wrongly arrested to be let go into the street, they're using that law to their advantage that Trump made for the people that were innocently arrested. These people are not innocent when they were arrested. They committed crimes. They deserve to be in jail. But they're using that law, executive order that Trump wrote for their benefit, for the benefit of these people. When the other people that are wrongfully arrested, innocent people wrongfully arrested for wrongful charges, need to be released back into the streets. Not the criminals, not the murderers, not the rapists, not the ones who commit crime. Remember that. The 8th Amendment prohibits excessive bail, excessive fines, and cruel and unusual punishments. Well, Kamala Harris was really great with that when she was Attorney General for California after she went down on Willie Brown. That's why they call her Kneepat Harris. She gave a lot of head on Willie Brown. She had a sexual affair with Willie Brown just to get to the position where she was at in California, Attorney General. What about the homes that exploded by that chemical fire? What about the LA HUD program she was in charge of, where she sent the homeless people to sleep on beds, and the beds were infected with scabies? What about the illegal immigrants that cross the border and they bring in scabies with them? They're infected with deadly diseases. Look at all over the West Coast. They get infected all the time by something that this Mexican person brought, or someone that crossed the border brought into the USA, that crossed the border illegally because they're not vetted. The 8th Amendment, Kamala Harris uses it to bond the people out of prison. That's why Hollywood always sets up these GoFundMes for people like, let's use the guy's name, Jacob Blake, for instance. Let's say he got arrested. They bonded him out of jail. Or they bonded the Antifa in Portland, or to Seattle, or the Black Lives Matter in St. Louis out of prison. The 9th Amendment states that the list of rights enumerated in the Constitution is not exhaustive, and that the people retain all rights not enumerated. So the 9th Amendment, they talk about enumerated, which there's not enough space for the person, right? There's not enough space to enumerate all the person's work, right? States the list of rights enumerated in the Constitution is not exhaustive, and that the people retain all rights not enumerated. So all our space shall not be enumerated, shall not be exhausted to one space. But the leftist Democrats that released these prisoners from jail, they cut down the list. They cut it down. They enumerate it. And it says not be enumerated. The 9th Amendment says not be enumerated. But the leftist Democrats enumerate it. They go opposite of it. Do you see the text on your amendments? Are you watching it play out before your eyes? Look at the Black Panther movie. The guy who played Black Panther died. Why did he die? Think about it. The 10th Amendment assigns all powers not delegated to the United States or prohibited to the states, to either the states or to the people. So the 10th Amendment, when they saying assigns all powers not delegated to the United States or prohibited to the states, to either the states or to the people, the states that are most popular in having this happen are the blue-run Democrat states: Portland, Seattle, California, several cities in California, Chicago, and other cities in Illinois, Milwaukee, Kenosha, but that's a red state. Hold on. But the governor's Democrat in Wisconsin, Michigan, St. Louis, New York, and several other cities and states. But remember, even if it's a red state, there's always a Democrat involved. It's either your senator, congressman, governor, or mayor. Or even the freaking police themselves. Not all police are good. There's that little batch of police that are evil. Then we have that other batch of police that are good. Remember, police job is to serve and protect the people. Our taxpayers pay these people to come and protect us. Our taxes pay for this protection. But where is the protection? The Democrat-run cities and states like Portland, Seattle, Chicago, and New York, they're all calling for defund the police. Look what happened to that 77-year-old retired officer when he was doing security at the pawn shop in St. Louis. He was shot dead. And his wife showed up in the RNC. I believe it was day 2. Day 2 of RNC, she showed up. She showed up and spoke about it. I have it recorded on one of my channels. Anyways, so this is the 10th Amendment assigns all powers not delegated to the United States. So they're giving power to the SJWs, to the Black Lives Matter. The 10th Amendment is giving power to these people to come and control you, to come and control the citizens. Look what they're doing. They're trying to come into the suburbs. Look what they did in Kenosha. The person was standing out the car screaming, "Wake up, people, wake up!" Yeah, it's a catchy rhyme, but it's not a good rhyme. 40 years ago, you people let loose these crazies. If you would have tamed these crazies 40 years ago, we wouldn't have been going through this communism. But remember, it all comes down to November 3rd. Either you vote for Democrats and you vote for Venezuela, or either you vote for Republicans, you're voting for the country of the free. Because remember, the Democrats is all lies. All they do is lie to you. They've been lying to you for years. They never completed their goals that they promised you. But on the other hand, all the Republican presidents that were running, that we voted for, or people that voted for, they thought they were going to do something, like Reagan, Bush, and Bush. Y'all thought they were going to make changes, right? Y'all thought these Republican presidents in the past were going to make changes, right? Those are called rhinos. They're called Democrats disguised as Republicans. That's what rhinos are. Y'all thought they were going to change everything. No, nobody did. Nobody stood up. So this is what they did. They made promises, but they couldn't keep them. But in 2016, President-elect Donald J. Trump made promises, and he kept them. Promises made, promises kept, and some. He added more to that shit. He gave Jerusalem to Israel, and he moved our U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. He made peace in the Middle East. He made peace with North Korea. He made NATO pay up all their funds. President Trump has made NATO pay up all their funds. Has kicked out the CDC, the WHO, from the USA. The CDC came out with the real numbers. Only 9,210 deaths died of COVID-19, which is the flu. Told you it was all the flu. The whole time it was the flu. But Trump did a world lockdown. The only reason why he did a world lockdown was to save the fucking children. Save the children. Save the children. This is why you're getting all these earthquakes, underground tunnels, man-made underground tunnels are being destroyed by military domes. They're called domes. You know? They're being destroyed underground. The children are being saved. That's why you're seeing all of a sudden children saved in Georgia, Michigan, Indiana. You're seeing it pop up in the news now. But it's more than those numbers that they show in the news. 39, 183 altogether. It's more than those numbers on the number of children being saved. Look in New York, Central Park. Why are those tents up in Central Park? Because those children underground in Central Park, in the tunnels underground. They covered it by Central Park, by the ice skating, horseback riding, by the beautiful monuments. They play the movie Home Alone there. Home Alone, Lost in New York. They have that zoo in there. Yeah, they try to cover it. No, it's all underground. A lot of those rich people in New York have property underground. They own property. Go find any rich person, billionaire person in New York, and go on Google and look up their property. Look up what they own, and look where it leads you to. This is the real estate market. This is why Trump, first of all, is a real estate man. He's exposing the crimes of realty. He's a businessman. He's exposing the crime of business people. He's a family man. He's exposing the crimes of family people. Of people who pretend they're families. This is why we elected President Trump. You may not believe in God, you may not believe in what I'm about to say, but I solemnly do swear he was God sent. He was sent by God to be our president, and we all voted for him. Because remember, we are all the soldiers of God. We are God's army. When fake news media and the Democrats and the dictators of the world attack our president, Trump, they're really attacking us Americans. But Trump stands in the way. You've seen that meme so many times. This is why QAnon came out to turn the truthful movement into something big. But because MSM is really scared of the truth, they will claim us as FBI, as terrorists, QAnon terrorists. That Black Lives Matter are using QAnon against us. QAnon, the Yahoo article that was written in August 1st, 2019, or I think it was August 2nd, 2019, they claimed QAnon as a terrorist organization, fake FBI documents, fake Yahoo articles, and then all these news articles went with it. There was thousands of news articles claiming QAnon as terrorists. It's the news articles that start this shit. Look what they did to Trump. Mueller, Russiagate. Yahoo started that article on September 23rd or 26th, 2016. Yahoo by Michael Iskoff. Trump, Russia, Kremlin. Look it up. Look up Devin Nunn's memo from February 2nd, 2018. He says it in there. There's always legal documents you can go back to look at, look for everything. I have videos on my channels. I have several channels. I have videos on my channels. Go look for them. Find them. Research them. Go look at Fed Warrior. Fed Warrior says this too. Or Fed Warrior History. Or X22. Or those other popular YouTubers. I can't believe I'm saying their names. The Saints and Anon. Go look up these people. They will tell you the same shit I'm telling you. Or Red Pill 78. Or Red Pill. Or Mark Dice. Just any of these stupid people. Look them up. They will tell you the same shit I'm telling you. Even Tom Fitton. The Democrats are trying to commit voter fraud. Have you watched Trump in the last few days? China knows that Trump is mad at them. Mad at him. China knows that Trump is mad at them. China knows. Look what's happening in China. Look at all the weather disasters in China. Remember, it comes down to November 3rd. The whole world depends on you guys. The whole world depends on America. We are the country of free. We decide our future. November 3rd, we decide our future. You vote Democrat, you're voting for Venezuela. You're voting for Commie China. You're going to lose your country. You're going to lose your freedom. You're going to lose everything you own. You're going to lose your property. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your children. You're going to lose everything. You're going to become a homeless bum. You're going to be standing in line you're going to be standing in line for hours and days at a time, waiting for food, waiting for medicine. When November 3rd comes, vote President Trump. Vote Republican. Vote red. Vote for your country of freedom. Peace out, motherfuckers. Share the video.